And broke that down for us. So here we have a regular expression, PSRE pattern is defined to match the general syntax of an email address. I never used this command before, so, oh wow, it's good to learn, right? And okay, I think I'm happy with that, right? With this explanation. So I'm gonna close Joule for a moment. And now what is our goal? Our goal is to implement a final function that combines these two existing ones, right? So
you're searching for an email format in general, and the other thing?
And the other thing is the validate email domain, right? So yeah, here I can read here, but I can understand what this function does.
Yes.
So I think it's not. We don't need Joule for in that case. So, but yeah, that's our goal right now, to write this final function. So, and I think we can start putting something here. So I'm gonna here press enter. Oh wow, that was quite fast too. So you can see here.
That's you been typing?
No, I'm not typing. It's without hands here. So without hands. So
yeah.
Joule is already suggesting us the next lines of code. So me or us as a developers, okay, we need to really check that, right? And I think looks good for me. I'm happy with that suggestion. So I'm gonna press tab. All right. So now we have the definition, right? So now let's implement the method. So we are gonna use the helper, of course.
This was not AI doing things.
That was not AI, but this is AI now.
Yes. So it goes text as you again.
Yes. And you can see here should take into consideration the context of this ABAP class, because as you can see, the two methods, validate email form and validate email domain, are being called. So, and I can see here, yeah, valid ABAP false. Okay, well, okay, I'm happy with that. So, that's it, I would say. So I'm gonna go and activate the class, but there is something that we are missing that we don't have to miss that, and it's test classes.
Okay.
So yeah, we need to really we need to really test our code, right? So, but luckily we have Joule here. So we are gonna ask Joule to generate unit tests for us. So I'm gonna right click in the class, go to Joule, and let's start the ABAP unit. And here Joule says, oh, here the class does not contain any unit tests. What do you want to do? Let's add test. Run test and show coverage. Of course, we don't have coverage here.
You have, but 0.
But we have a 0, right? And here in the value, we have this valid method. We want to test this valid method to test the private ones as well. So we are going to ask Joule to generate unit tests for us for this validate email, the function.
Wow, that was again fast.
That was quite fast, but I'm seeing an error here.
Yeah, why don't you just take it over, just without looking at it?
Yeah, that will fail.
Okay.
That will fail. But we can ask Joule to check that and correct that for us. Because what's the error? You might ask yourself. Here you can see in the class we have the fixed local domain with ABC company, but here Joule is using add example.com for validate an email that is valid. But I'm gonna tell Joule, okay, please fix that. So please use the ABC any for the email domain. So now we can chat with Joule, of course, and you see, Joule has already changed that for us. If you can see the first test here, we see that this email is valid because it's using the constant defining the class.
Yeah, but you were not texting it correctly. So you mislead the Joule, right? Because you said to use abc.company-company.any, and it was also using it for the invalid email address. So I give it the wrong direction. But you can see here, that is life. I mean, Joule is doing what you tell Joule to do. I mean, that artificial intelligence is helping you, right? But if you're misleading, I mean,
exactly.
You are in the driver's seat.
I am in the driver's seat still, but I think this one is invalid because of the special character.
Yeah, but still it.
Yeah, it took the domain that, but I can say should please add, oh sorry, please add a new test for an empty email, for example.
Cool.
That's really cool. And you can see here Joule added a new unit test to validate when the email is empty.
Will we see that running?
We can see it running if you want. So let's copy this code and let's go to the test classes, of course. Let's paste it. And here we have the whole unit test. And let's activate. And with that, so let's run the unit test, right? So let's go to the unit test with, and of course to the coverage, execute. You were right.
Yes.
You know, the second text failed, but the other two are green, and now we can see that the other coverage is in 100%.
That is really exciting. I mean, you were just giving it a couple of hints, and it produces, or it generated for you the coding for unit test.
Exactly. That is, yeah.
And I mean, you can fix it, right? I mean, you have the invalid, so you can really put in something like that, and
exactly. We can really fix it as a developers here, because maybe we can say here, right?
Yes.
And then activate it, and then we can, oh sorry,
just run it again.
I'm just running it again. Run as, no sorry, unit test with, operate, execute. And now, here we go.
Wow.
Yeah. So what you saw here? You saw code explanation, you saw code prediction, and the last feature was generation of unit tests. But maybe you can say, you know, Sebastian, that was a very simple example, right? But we have another one.
Yeah, and now let me step into the shoes of the developer. So